When you are so worried about being alone, you lose sight of your worthiness being your standard. Ask me how I know. Because I spent a decade ish in relationships, settling and tolerating way too much, more than I should have, just to keep somebody around. And the more that I settled and shrunk myself, I really thought that that would guarantee that the relationship would last. But the whole time, what was really happening is I was making myself smaller, more agreeable, just so I could call it love. And friend, the truth is, if your fear is louder than your love for yourself, what you can guarantee is that you will shrink yourself and turn into whoever somebody needs you to be, but still end up wondering why it doesn't feel like it's enough. So, friend, why do you still keep finding yourself playing out this same pattern on repeat? We about to get into it. Hey, friend, if you are new here, I'm Letitia, your identity shift coach. And before we get any further into this, make sure that you're subscribed because we are having these kind of real talk conversations on the daily. Okay. And listen, I am here, no shade, no shame, and no judgment, friend. Because if you feel like this whole thing is almost like a personal attack against you, let me just assure you, I am talking to the old me. Because, friend, listen, I had it bad, okay? I'm talking, I had it bad, like Usher Raymond bad, okay? Like Michael Jackson bad, okay? It was, friend, it was a very long decade ish. And it took me so long to learn these lessons that I am about to share with you. Because if I can in any way shortcut this for you, listen, it is my pleasure, my privilege, and my purpose, okay? Because, friend, what I did not realize for the longest time is that my fear was speaking so much louder than any of my desires ever could. And I did not notice that my fear was literally oozing out of my pores, okay? Like a guy could smell it a mile away. That fear of being alone, it felt so real, friend. And listen, you are not single for a long time without that fear creeping in, right? Because it's like the longer that you're single, and heaven forbid you end up being like the last single one of your friend group, it starts to feel like it's never going to happen for you. So, this topic I'm covering with so much love. And, friend, at the same time, as your coach, I have to keep it real with you because in order to break this pattern, you have to be able to acknowledge it in the first place. And the fear is just so loud. So, let's really talk about it because the fear is almost like this undercurrent. It's like the background music in the elevator that if you're talking to somebody, you probably don't even notice that it's happening. That's how fear feels, right? It's there, but not noticeable, right? But it is really speaking volumes on your behalf, okay? It's that fear that you're going to be alone forever. It's the fear that if you give someone a chance, then they can abandon you. It's fear that you are too much for somebody to handle. It is fear that your level of weird is going to be too weird for anybody to ever love. Fear shows up in so many different shapes and sizes, and it seems to love to attack us in our insecurities and amplify them to the gods. So notice where that fear is showing up for you because even for as much as you want to be in a relationship or you want to be married, your fear is probably speaking so much louder than any of your desires ever could. And you know what we do when we feel like our flaws are just too big for anyone to accept, let alone love? We end up overgiving. We think that if we don't show how weird we are up front, we think if we appear to be this version that is perfect for them, then they can't help but fall in love with us. If we show them just how wonderful we really are, then they can't help but see that, hello, I'm the one. And we want to show that, hey, if I'm your girl, then this is what you can expect. This A++, 100%. Actually, we're going to go above and beyond. So this 150%, that's what you're going to get from me all the time if you choose me. And friend, what we do not realize is when we are leading with that kind of energy, what we are really showing is that we are willing to abandon ourselves just for the sake of keeping someone else comfortable. And self abandonment often looks like sacrifice. And we think that that is love because, hey, what are we not willing to sacrifice in the name of love? And that sacrifice might show up looking like you not expressing your needs because you don't want to seem needy. Maybe it shows up as you have been bothered by something, but instead you keep it to yourself because you don't want to be nitpicky or you don't want to seem like the kind of girl who complains all the time. So there's so many ways that we can abandon ourselves just for the sake of keeping someone around, making sure that they're comfortable, making sure that their needs are met. And we prioritize them the whole time we're leaving ourselves behind. For me, it showed up in saying that I was okay with a situationship when really what I wanted was a relationship. Now, friend, listen, pop me a high five, okay? If that has been you, okay? Tell me I wasn't the only one. It definitely happens to the best of us. But I found myself doing this over and over and over again in relationships. And if I'm being honest with you, it wasn't just showing up in just my romantic relationships. Okay. And I was seeing this pattern play out over and over again, but I still wasn't really recognizing that I had the power to change the pattern. That's good. Oh, friend, write that down, okay? That is bars, okay? I'm sorry. It's late, and I get a little silly when it's late, okay? But friend, listen, we got to have some fun with this cuz I know this can be a little bit heavy, okay? But we have to grant ourselves some grace, right? Because at the very end of the day, what you have been seeking is to be loved. And friend, I just think that the piece that's missing is that we have to be the one to love ourselves first and not just expect somebody else to come along and magically start doing it the right way. Okay. Okay. And what I learned along the way is our relationships are simply a mirror for us. And this is where it can be very touchy. So I do want to handle this with care because if you have been single for a long time, the dreaded question is, why are you still single? And it can almost feel like a backhanded compliment, right? Like you don't know if they throwing shade or If they're trying to be nice about it, but really they're trying to, they're trying to say something without saying something, you know? And it can feel like a personal attack to think that, like, well, wait a minute, because what are you trying to say is wrong with me? It ain't me, okay? It is these dating streets. But if we can take the personal attack out of it, the relationship is really showing us our very own pattern. And what that pattern is really trying to reflect to you is your level of self love for you. Because what I spent so much time doing was trying to convince someone of my value. When what I should have been doing is recognizing my value for myself. Okay? Because the moment that I started to recognize my value as a wife, that's when the whole dating game changed for me. I realized that I had been dating and trying to give this best girlfriend behavior when I was never meant to be no long term girlfriend anyway. Okay. God made me a wife. All right. That's identity, friend. And sometimes we are dating and not recognizing our own identity or our own value. So, how can you really expect someone else to see your value if you don't? If you are settling and tolerating the absolute bare minimum, if you aren't even getting the princess treatment, friend, we need to reevaluate. And truth be told, you're not a princess. You are a queen who deserves a king, okay? And for my kings watching, because I recognize I have some fellas that be watching too. Hey, what's up, fellas? But if you are a king, then you deserve your queen. You know what I mean? So it really does start with you recognizing your own value, your own identity. Because when you can operate from that place, that's how you change the game. It isn't about changing the other person. Where your power is in you. It is you recognizing where your pattern is and deciding to do something different. For me, my pattern was settling and waiting for someone to decide if I was really the one for them. When what I should have been doing is saying, you know what? We're really not aligned in what we're looking for. Or for the one who thought I was too much. Well, then, you know what? You're right. I am too much for you. And I need to be able to find somebody that I'm just right for them because you're not too much. But if someone says that you're too much, then you're just too much for them. That does not mean you lessen yourself to be more palatable for them. And that is often what we do. We try to shrink ourselves to meet their palate. And listen, I cannot help if you got a fast food taste bud when I am really the top tier, okay? The 7-course meal type chick. You better know your worth, queen. You better know your worth, king. So let's not take it personal, but instead, let's take a pause for the cause and look at how we are showing up personally. Okay? Take a look at what identity you should be standing in versus the one that you've been operating in. And take a look and really, friend, I want you to really recognize your value. Really recognize just how worthy you are of the love that you desire. You wouldn't have the desire if it wasn't meant for you. That desire is calling you towards it. So do not downplay your desires. They are there for a reason. They're really like your GPS. and it's trying to get you to get to the destination, okay? So see your value and operate in your appropriate identity, not what someone else is telling you you should be showing up as. This is where we start to discern what is for us and what ain't for us, okay? Because if they don't have the right taste buds for you, then don't take that personal. Take that as a thank you for helping me to discern even faster that I need to be on to the next, okay? And as you think about your identity and your value, your own worthiness, really remember, friend, that the way that you treat yourself is really setting the tone. You are setting the example for how you want to be loved. I had a friend who she loved fresh flowers. And even in her single seasons, she would buy herself a bouquet of flowers every week because she loved flowers. She did not want to wait until she had somebody in her life who was going to buy her flowers every week. Why wait when you can have it today? And besides, when her special somebody showed up, then they were like, oh my gosh, she loves fresh flowers. I can get her fresh flowers every week. So you really do set the tone, you set the example for someone to rise to meet you there if that is what they desire. And remember, your level of self love will always be reflected back to you in your relationships. It took me to experience the loss of my mom when she made her transition to heaven. I was cracked so wide open, I felt lost without her. And in realizing on my grief journey that I wasn't lost, I was just getting to know myself in this new season of life without her physically here. And I went from trying to search for love to searching for me. And what I realized is that I had just been disconnected from myself for so long. And that is what created that lost feeling. It wasn't that I was lost, I was just disconnected. And I took that as an invitation to reconnect back to the best of myself. And as I got to know me and I started to really appreciate myself for who I am, I ended up falling in love with me. And that is what drew my husband to me, my self love. And now the way that I love myself is the way he reflects his love to me. It feels perfect because it is just a reflection of my own self love to me. So, friend, it is so worth doing your work. It is so worth realizing just how amazing you are, just how incredible you are, and loving yourself to the level that you desire because you should be loving yourself from your cup and everyone else should be receiving love from your overflow. And when you love yourself properly, you have an abundance of love to give from that place of your overflow. And that truly is the best way that it should be because you deserve to be loved by you. You deserve to have your own back. You deserve to honor yourself, respect, love, and cherish yourself. You deserve to feel that from you. And when you can give yourself the kind of love that you really truly desire, it is so much easier for the world to reflect that back to you, including in your relationships. So, friend, let's keep doing the work so you can grant yourself one of the greatest gifts you will ever give yourself, and that is your own self love. So, friend, I really invite you to pour into yourself the way that you pour into other people. If anybody deserves a generous pour, it's you. Okay, friend? Oh, so good. Okay, let me give you your journal prompt. Oh my gosh, my allergies are starting to wild out, friend. Okay, here's your journal prompt. Where have I made myself smaller to keep someone else comfortable? And what did that cost me? Friend, you know. You know the drill. No shade, no shame, and no judgment. Grant yourself some grace and love on yourself while you journal on this, okay? This is not the time to give yourself a hard time, okay, friend? The world and life can be hard enough on its own. It don't need your help. But really explore that, because if you can identify where that is showing up for you, then it is so much easier for you to start shifting into the identity and owning your value, friend, in the way that you need to be able to start into a pattern that actually serves you. Okay. And meet me in the comments, friend. Okay. Okay. Let's see. I want you to tell me, what is one way you're going to start showing up for yourself to love on yourself a little extra? I can't wait to hear what you're going to do. And please drop it in the comments, because we are building a community where we support each other along our journey. And you never know how your comment just might inspire someone else. So please drop yourself a comment, friend. Share it with me, share it with the group. And friend, I really hope that you love this episode as much as I love making it for you, even though my allergies, they are taking over right now. So I apologize in advance. Let me hurry up, friend. But like I always remind you at this time, to know me is to know I love myself so much I don't play about me. And if you hang out with me long enough, you will love yourself so much that you won't play about you either. Okay, friend? I can't wait to meet you in the comments, and I will see you in the next video tomorrow.